Maraming salamat, our distinguished chairman and my dear colleagues, to our brave men and women of the armed forces and the Coast Guard, also of the different government agencies, my fellow patriots. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Most especially to our dear colleagues from the Coast Guard. Sir, saludo po ako sa inyo. Araw-araw, talagang sinasakripisyo po ninyo ang inyong buhay para maging mapayapa at ligtas ang ating mga kababayan sa West Philippine Sea, together with our, of course, without having to say it, our men and women of the armed forces of the Philippines. I have good news today, and the good news is the Senate is one and united, that they will assist your budgets this coming budget hearing. Na madadagdagan po kayo ng pondo, whether it may be confidential intelligence funds or funding that will give you proper equipment for your needs in the West Philippine Sea and protection all over our country.
Palakpakan niyo naman, Senate President.
Hindi na po kailangan yan. Dapat talagang gawin namin yan para sa inyo. You are doing your job, we will do our job. That is the most important. Maybe in the proper time, I'll be speaking, I think, separately with the Coast Guard, also with the Navy and the Army and the military armed forces on their wish list para matulungan po namin kayo. United po kami dyan. We've all discussed this in the lounge. At whatever political affiliation we are from, whether minority or majority, nagkakaisa po kami, natulungan po namin kayo. Yan ang isang good news na gusto ko pong dalhin na yung araw ito. Kasama na po yung Kalayaan Islands, Mayor. Meron na po ako naka-ready, kaya buti nandito po kayo, Mayor. Mag-uusap po tayo mamaya. Kasi gusto ko po rin maramdaman ng ating mga kababayan doon. Gusto namin po maramdaman ng mga kababayan doon na sila po ay kasama sa Republika ng Pilipinas at tayuan po natin sila ng mga facilities na pangangailangan nila doon, mga birthing centers, classroom repairs, at kung ano pa, Mayor. At munisipyo, bakit hindi? Gawin natin armored yung munisipyo mo. Armored garrison.
Lagyan po natin ang masingka doon sa taas.
Tama, Mayor. But tutulungan po namin kayo, Mayor. That is part of the plan. We want to make our people in the West Philippine Sea feel like they belong to the Philippines. And I'm here to give my 1,000% support together with my colleagues. And I'd like to also, I know earlier, one of our dear colleagues had his opinion about the use of our alliances. I have a contrary opinion, gentlemen and ladies. My contrary opinion is, let us use our friends and alliances to help strengthen, no, para palakasin ang ating claim dito sa exclusive economic zone natin. Alam ko po, meron po sa aming mga kababayan na sa tingin kaya po natin. Ang China, tayo lang, wala nang iba. Pero sa totoo lang, mga kababayan na nakikinig po na yun, kung masyado naging agresibo ang China sa atin, sa pananaw ko, kung magkaroon po ng conventional warfare, patagal na pong 3 araw ang mga maiwan sa ating mga conventional equipment and forces. And then we will have to go into a guerrilla warfare. And we cannot do it alone. Hindi po natin kayang gawin ito na mag-isa. Kailangan natin ang tulong ng ating mga kaalyado, whether we like it or not. And we are I personally, in my opinion, welcome the fact that the United States of America, in every discussion and in every fora, has said that they will stand by the Philippines kung meron pong mangyayari. At hindi lamang yun, marami na po sumasang-ayon sa atin at tumutulong sa atin. Yung Australia, Japan, South Korea, ay nagsalita na po, European Union, nagsalita na po, natutulong po sila. Hindi lamang sa pagbibigay po ng mga ekwipo para sa pandirigma, pero pati economic assistance. Kasi alam po nila na pwede po tayong hostage na isang bansa pagdating sa economic agenda. Kaya pagdating po ng European Union President, sinabi niya sa amin, good news, binuksan na po nila at in-extend na po nila yung tinatawag na GSP Plus, kung saan yung goods and mga goods and products natin ay magiging welcome uli sa European Union. But they want to take it even a step further into a free trade agreement. Nung isang araw, kakapirma lang ng ating Pangulo ng South Korean Free Trade Agreement. That's good news. Kasi gusto din makabigay po ng tulong sa ekonomiya ang South Korea at ating mga kapitbahay. Kaya let's welcome that. And this position now of China, Mr. Chairman, on the 10-dash line, ako'y natuwa. Hindi po ako nagalit. Ako'y natuwa. Dahil marami na po nagalit sa ating kapitbahay sa norte. Dahil pati sinakop nila ang India, teritoryo ng India, na never before po sila nagkondena sa nangyayari dito sa West Philippine Sea. Ngayon po, sumang-ayon na po sila sa arbitral ruling ng Permanent Court of Arbitration na sabi nila that they clearly side with the Philippines in its exclusive economic zone. Pati na rin Brunei nagsalita. Never po nagsalita ang Brunei. Eh sinakop na po sila sa 10-dash line. I think the 10-dash line is 40 nautical miles out of the coast of Brunei. So medyo nagagalit din ng Brunei dahil siyempre may mga oil po sila dyan sa mga lugar na yan. Kaya let us utilize the anger, no? Not the goodwill, but the anger being peddled by our neighbor in the north to our advantage as a sovereign nation. Kaya ako ay sumasang-ayon. No? I totally agree with the training, the cooperation on terms of interoperability of our like-minded sovereign nations in the region where we believe in the rule of law and freedom of navigation. Alam mo, pag dumadaan po kayo dyan, whatever boat that you're in, sinasabi po nila repeatedly, at nakikita ko po to sa news and all the statements by our military and Coast Guard, na nasa teritoryo po daw tayo ng China. Na umalis daw tayo dito dahil nasa teritoryo po tayo ng China. Yan ay isang malaking kasinungalingan. At yan ay atin. Sa Pilipinas po yan. Make no mistake about it. Nung isang gabi, pumunta po ako sa exhibit ng mga mapa. Mapa ng turn of the century, 1600s, 1500s, panahon ni Magellan. At klarong-klaro po, nung panahon pa yun, yung Scarborough Shoals, yung Pag-asa Island, sa ibang pangalan tinatawag pero nandyan na. Pati Ayungin nandyan na. Lahat yan ay teritoryo ng Pilipinas. That's why pag sinasabi po ng China na kanila po yan, I always tell myself, says who? Who says? You're the only one that says that is your territory. Whereas we have a ruling supported by many countries from all over the world that this is our exclusive economic zone. Let us not forget that. So I have no questions here for my dear patriots, Your Honor. Mine is my continued support together with our men and women here of the Senate who believe in what you are doing for our nation and for our sovereignty. Pag may mawala pa sa atin na isla dyan, naaawa po ako sa ating mga kabataan, sa ating mga apo at mga anak. Kasi yung ating mga ninuno, nagbuwis buhay, Jose Rizal, Bonifacio, Aguinaldo, lahat po ng ating mga heroes ay nagbuwis buhay para ma-maintain ang ating soberenya at kalabanin ito mga outside forces na kumukup-kup sa ating bansa. Diba sa ating lupang hinirang, ang manlulupig, di pasisihil. Pinaglalaban po natin yan. At ang pinakahuling banggit sa ating lupang hinirang, ang mamatay ng dahil kayo. Sana naman ay hindi umabot tayo dyan, na mamatay po tayo sa panahon nito. Pero I salute all of you men and women who are willing to sacrifice for God and country. And we commit, the Senate commits that this budget hearing, you will see a difference in your budget. And hopefully it will be a helpful difference that will help you protect our West Philippine Sea. Mabuhay po kayo.
The patriotism of our fallen soldiers, officers, officials, and citizens who fought against the threat of communist insurgency led by the Communist Party of the Philippines New People's Army. I do not know bakit September 21. Martial law? Oh, okay. Your thoughts about this?
Personally, sir, I would support that, sir.
Why?
Because it's really high time, sir, to recognize the efforts of our soldiers who have been fighting the communist movement for 50 years.
Siguro we can hear from the main author of this bill, the Unsung Heroes Act.
Yes, sir.
Tinatanong ko si Senator Robin, kay Yusik Madriaga, why did you choose the date September 21? Is it because coincidence that was the declaration of martial law?
Magandang tanghali po uli. Opo, kasi po sa matagal na panahon, Chairman, binigyan po ng napakasamang imahe yung September 21. Ang narinig lang po natin ay isang narrative. Alam niyo po, Chairman, sa mundong ito, dalawa dapat ang narrative na naririnig natin. Kung narinig na po natin yung isang narrative, okay. Pero wag naman natin isuppress yung isang narrative. Yung isang narrative po ay itong martial law ay nakapagdulot din po ito ng pagliligtas sa ating bansa na tayo po ay maging communist country. At marami din po tayong mga kasundaluhan ang nagbigay po ng buhay para maligtas po ang ating bayan na tayo po ay makubkob ng mga komunista. Dumating lang yung English eh. Ito eh.
You can read it.
Basahin ko na, Chairman. Sayang naman. Minsan lang ako mag-i-English eh.
Sige.
Pasensya na po. Bear with me.
Para kang tatay ko.
Ito na po, over the last 100 years, communism has become one of the most absorbing ideologies that has brought consequential events across the world. Among the most widely known political bloodshed anchored on this philosophy transpired in October 1917, when the Bolsheviks, a Marxist-Leninist organization that sought to establish the dictatorship of the proletariat, successfully seized power from the Russian Romanov monarchy. Since then, the communist ideology spread from one country to another in Europe, which culminated the ideological divide of the Iron Curtain in the continent between the liberal democracy of the West and communist bloc of Eastern Europe. The diffusion of the ideology did not stop there. It spread simultaneously in Latin America and Asia, where a number of revolutionary groups increased rapidly. They organized and armed themselves to overthrow their respective governments in the name of the communist ideology. Sandali lang po hindi ako marunong mag-computer. Paano ito? Ayaw umangat
Pareho lang tayo.
Asan na ba ako? Ayun. After the Soviet expansion in Europe, North Korean invasion of South Korea in 1950, the emergence of the Chinese Communist Party, it was perceived that the The next battlefield between the non-communist and communist forces would be in Southeast Asia. Such prevision first came to life in Thailand when small groups of Pathet Lao insurgents infiltrated the northern part of the country in 1961. Records show that since then until 1965, trained and indoctrinated guerrillas were able to carry out 17 political assassinations. And in 1972, the Thai government implemented a 6-week operation against the revolutionary group wherein 30 soldiers were killed while 100 were wounded. In Malaysia, the Malayan Communist Party led an unsuccessful insurrection against the Federation of Malaya. The Malayan National Liberation Army established a series of bases along the Malaysian southern Thailand border. On June 17, 1968, the MCP launched an ambush against security forces in the area of Krok Betong in the northern part of peninsular Malaysia, resulting in the death of 17 members of the security forces. Huwag ka nang lumayo sa akin. Yan. In Indonesia, the 30th of September movement assassinated 6 Indonesian army generals. The general and the bodies of their dead colleagues were taken to a place known as Lubang Buaya, where those still alive were shot. The increasingly progressive momentum of communism and its violent transgression against states had come closely relatable to our changing socio-political landscape at that time. In the Philippines, the Marxist-Leninist Maoist Communist Party of the Philippines was founded in 1968 to overthrow the government and to establish a new democratic state. A year later, its armed wing, the New People's Army, was established. Together, they were referred to as the CPP-NPA, founded by Juan Jose Maria Sison, who led a Maoist-oriented youth faction within Partido Komunista ng Pilipinas, which was originally established in 1930. The PKP was found to be participating in electoral boycotts and employing a guerrilla army to fight Japanese colonialism, United States colonialism, and Filipino elites. Malapit na matapos. Magsaysa ka na. Okay. A commission created by the CPP-NPA founded the National Democratic Front of the Philippines in 1973, which served as a political wing of the organization of the CPP-NPA and the other mass revolutionary organizations. The government has used the name CPP-NPA-NDF or CNN to refer to the larger entity formed through the cooperation of the CPP-NPA and then NDF. Between January and March of 1970, the CPP-NPA increased membership from the leftist wave of student demonstrations, rallies, and marches, later known as the First Quarter Storm. These protests were waged against then-President Ferdinand E. Marcos by student leaders who demanded constitutional change. A sustained political unrest interrupted the political, social, and economic affairs of the state. The bombing of Plaza Miranda on August 21, 1971 claimed the lives of innocent people. 9 deaths and 95 wounded. Series of Manila bombings during the period of March 15 to September 11, 1972, which led to 1 death and 40 wounded, also punctuated the political turmoil in the country. Former President Marcos attributed this to the communist insurgency threat posed by the CPP-NPA. These events served as a prelude to the declaration of martial law on September 21, 1972. The CPP-NPA continued to intensify its offensive against the state, moving from small guerrilla units to military battalions in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. According to the Armed Forces of the Philippines, about 7,077 soldiers were killed by the NPA and the Moro National Liberation Front and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front from 1975 to 1985. In 1985, CPP-NPA-related violence reached its height with 1,282 military and police deaths, 1,362 civilian deaths, and 2,134 CPP-NPA deaths. In the long course of communist insurgency waged by the CPP-NPA-NDF, it cannot be denied that patriotic soldiers, officers, government officials, and civilians demonstrated courage, bravery, and passion. To date, many of them are nameless, and their contributions remain unacknowledged. As a tribute to these unsung heroes, the passage of this bill is earnestly sought. Maraming salamat po, Chairman.
Lahat po ng Newsflash video ay makikita sa aking Newsflash playlist. Sa mga gusto naman po ng mga biblical topics, punta po kayo sa aking channel na Free TV. Para sa mga gustong mag-order ng Fermax Firmang and Lifting Cream and Immune System Booster, contact Mr. Dante Maravillas on Facebook. Cell phone number 090865537757.